This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
It's Friday, December 4th. Thanks so much for joining us for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Samantha Allen. Coming up, Health Ministry says avoid mass gatherings if you are experiencing flu-like symptoms. Jamaica re-elected to sit on International Maritime Body, and preparations on track for Prime Minister's Youth Awards. Later, it's part 3 of our discussion with some youngsters. The topic is children and nutrition. You don't want to miss that. Stay with us, the news in detail after the break.
Sharon, if me did ever know, I would have never take that bus this morning. The driver was going so fast. I should have come off. I never know me one picnic would have get hurt. Sharon! Sharon!
Speeding, overloading vehicles, drinking and driving, and reckless overtaking could be fatal errors. Drive carefully this festive season.
A message from the Insurance Association of Jamaica, the National Road Safety Council and National Health Fund, along with the Road Safety Unit, Ministry of Transport and Works.
And now the news. Persons experiencing flu-like symptoms are urged to avoid mass gatherings. The Health Ministry says persons should stay home even if their symptoms are mild. The ministry sent out the advisory in light of the start of the regular flu season. Director of Emergency Disaster Management and Special Services, Dr. Marion Bullock-Ducasse, says this is likely to mean more cases of seasonal influenza as well as influenza A H1N1. Members of the public are urged to continue good hygiene practices and avoid unnecessary contact with persons who are ill. Those who fall within the high-risk group are reminded to contact their doctor immediately if they develop flu-like symptoms. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry has now confirmed an additional 8 cases of influenza A H1N1. The total is now 191, with 6 reported deaths. For more information, persons may call the ministry's toll-free line at 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683, or contact their parish health department. In other health news, the National Health Fund, the NHF, has approved the construction of a perimeter fence at the Princess Margaret Hospital in St. Thomas. That announcement was made yesterday by Minister of Health Rudyard Spencer. He was on a tour of the hospital facility. It will cost $11.5 million to erect the fence, and Minister Spencer says there may be even more to the project.
Because they want to send a team out here right away of experts to look at where you fence and how you fence where you fence. And more importantly, whether or not they should include surveillance cameras and all that all over the place so that people at this institution can feel safe in the discharge of their duties.
There have been concerns about safety at the facility, especially in the wake of an incident a few months ago. Hospital authorities were left fearful after gunmen invaded the property in an attempt to find a patient. Concerns were also raised about stray animals on the hospital compound. Minister Spencer says he will be asking the management of the Southeast Regional Health Authority to ensure that there is follow-up on the project. He's also insisting that the staff is kept informed throughout the process. Jamaica has been re-elected to Category C of the International Maritime Organization IMO Council for 2009 to 2011. The elections were held at the 26th IMO Assembly, held at the IMO's headquarters in London this week. Minister of Transport and Works Mike Henry headed the Jamaican delegation there. He says this is a significant victory for Jamaica, as it confirms the country's credible ranking in the maritime world. The Assembly is the highest decision-making body of the IMO Council, which is a specialized United Nations agency with responsibility for maritime safety and security and the protection of the marine environment. The Category C represents those states that have special interests in maritime activities and whose election to the Council ensures the representation of all major geographic areas of the world. This is Jamaica's second consecutive successful bid for a seat on the Council. It was made possible by the work of a team comprising both government and private sector support. Financial and other institutions that provide electronic services to the public have been challenged to bring down the cost to users. The challenge has come from Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Audley Shaw. He was addressing the Caribbean Organization of Tax Administrators COTA SA Awards ceremony.
We must ensure that as we use e-payment services more and more, then those providers and intermediaries, the banks and so on, must understand that they too must bring down their cost of providing the service, because we are providing it free to you. We are therefore absorbing the cost that would normally have to be paid to the financial institutions. And I'm sending a message to the financial institutions: cut down your costs.
The Finance Minister was speaking in light of the Tax Administration Department's recent rollout of its e-payment service. It allows taxpayers to file their returns online and offers the benefit of reduced paperwork. Minister Shaw is urging individuals to use this option. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSAFE, has partnered with the European Commission to improve the standards of sanitation in a number of West Kingston communities. A financing agreement was signed yesterday for the first phase of the Midtown Sanitation Project. Total project cost is over $22 million, and the European Commission is granting some $20 million. Government's contribution through JSAFE amounts to $2.2 million. It's in the form of land, labor, and coordination activities.
This phase of the project entails the construction of a new sewage system, 11 bathroom facilities with installations of electric fixtures and fittings, wash tubs for the residents of Beeson Street, Bond Street, Oxford Street. For Oxford Street community, we will be constructing 8 double units with single units for the other communities.
Member of Parliament for the area, Prime Minister Bruce Goling, was also on hand for the signing. He says the project is very much in keeping with the government's determination to bring back life to areas like Western Kingston.
What we are seeking to do and what this project is designed to do is to provide modern, hygienic, sanitary facilities for those families in those premises who right now don't have any way, don't have any proper means of sewage disposal.
The European Commission's representative at the signing says the project fits into the EU's general objective of poverty alleviation. She applauded JSAFE for the initiative. And finally in the news, all is in place for the annual Prime Minister's Youth Awards for Excellence this weekend. This year, for the first time, a non-governmental organization will also be honored at the function. The recipient will be given the Prime Minister's Organization Youth Service Award. It will be awarded to a non-governmental organization that has been making a contribution to the empowerment of Jamaica's youth.
It is based on the desire for our Parliamentary Secretary, Senator Warren Newby, who thought that there are a number of organizations which weren't government organizations which are doing a lot for youth, and so they need to be recognized.
The Prime Minister's Youth Award is the highest honor bestowed upon Jamaicans between the ages of 15 and 24. It's given to young people who have achieved eminent national and international distinction in the categories of sports, youth and service, the arts and culture, academics, agriculture, leadership, journalism, international achievement, and entrepreneurship. The award ceremony is being organized by the National Center for Youth Development. It begins at 5 p.m. on Sunday at Emancipation Park in New Kingston. Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us.